I've been feeling like time has just been going by so fast. Like, where did the time go? And I know a lot of y'all been feeling like this lately, but I've been feeling like this for a minute. And I know y'all gonna call me crazy, but it is what it is. Sometimes we just wish we could have a time machine because we all just want to go back. But that's the funny thing about life, is that you really can't go back. And do you feel like time is just going by so fast because we feel like we at a standstill in our life? Now that's deep. Just think about it. When you was growing up, you thought you was just gonna be a kid forever, and time was just going by so wonderful. And then before you know it, you were grown adult. And just yesterday, you can remember when you was in elementary school, when you was in middle school, just living life. So that's why we like to take it back and reminisce about the good times, because time goes by so fast. And that's one of my favorite shows back in the day, because I love shows from the 70s. Even though I was born in the early 90s, one of my favorite shows was Good Times. Something about the 70s that I love. And a lot of y'all be saying those were good times to be alive. And those probably really were some good times, because a lot of people, they say everything was cleaner back then and things like that, of that matter. But I feel like, do you think I'm wrong for feeling like time is going by so fast because we feel like we stuck at a standstill, and then before you look up, 5 years done passed, 10 years done passed, and it's like you doing the same thing? Is social media making it feel like time is just going by so fast? Or I think it really is. I don't really think it's just social media. It's just that you just starting to realize that things ain't the same no more. So that's why you starting to realize time is just going by so fast. Because you always say, I remember just yesterday I was this age. I remember just yesterday I was this age. Now you look up, you 45, because you think you got time. Once you start realizing that you don't got time, you're going to start to realize that you need to just make a change, because time is going by fast. And you just feel like your life is just coming into shambles because you don't know what to do next. And I know, I've been there too, because I've been feeling like that too for a while. Because it's like you're doing the same thing. And that's why you feel like time is going by fast, because you feel like we just part of programming and we just don't know what to believe anymore. We feel like we're being lied to, and we just can't get it right because we doing the things that we thought we was told to do was being right. You know what I'm saying? So you starting to think like, is it all a lie? And I'm just keep it real. So that's why you thinking that everything is so messed up now, and you could just start to feel it now. You could feel it in the air now. And then you just know that something just ain't right, because you've been feeling like this for a while. And then y'all not alone. I've been feeling like this too. And a lot of y'all say it's because of social media. I believe that. Because just think about it. You be scrolling on your phone all day, and you be trying to find something exciting to watch, because they're using that to distract you. And then we see a lot of just corruption on there. And then before you know it, you've been looking at your phone. You look up at the time. It's been 2 hours. Now let me tell you about a time when I used to be just on social media. You just be so glued into it, and then you just sitting there. And then you just look up. Time is just passing you by. And I know, because let me tell you about a situation where I was just in a car. This was years ago, from one of my uncles that passed away. Rest in peace to my uncle. I was sitting in a car, and I was just on the phone, and I just didn't notice that what I was doing. I wasn't aware of my surroundings. I just didn't notice what I was doing because I was just so glued to being on the phone, right? I'm sitting in the car. I'm outside. So I'm sitting in the car. I'm just looking at the phone. I'm looking down like this. So when my uncle, when he knocked on the window, I let the window down. All he said was, "You didn't even see me walk up, did you?" I'm looking like I sure didn't see you walk up. Because we just caught up in this programming that we just don't know what's going on. And once we start realizing what's going on, we start to just realize. Now, some of y'all got goals and dreams. Y'all been wanting to do y'all goal, wanting to do y'all dream, right? And you was told, like, well, you need to get a job. You get you a job, you do the right thing, you know. You've been looking for jobs for a minute, you finally get a job, you feeling happy, right? You like, I'm gonna start my business, I want something to just work for me. So you've been working at your job, then you like, I'm just gonna get a job for right now. Then you look up, you've been working at your job for 10 years. And you ain't did nothing with your business, or you ain't got the money to do your business, and time just going on so fast that now you're frustrated. Because, you know why? Because I used to feel like that too. Because you start to realize that you're doing the same thing. And time is really going by fast because you were so used to being told that you're young and you got time. And this is for my entrepreneurs. You just starting to feel like it's just all a lie. So that's why you feeling like that. Just think about it. Because I was working my job. I've been working there for 5+ years. And I told myself, look, man, I'm going to do this job. I'm going to get my entrepreneur career popping off, right? I'm going to work a job, do what I was told, get my career. So I'm working at the job. I'm trying to pay for my career, my music career, or whatever, because you need money for that. Let's just keep it real. That's why a lot of y'all artists just don't make it, because y'all ain't got no money. I'm going to just keep it real. So I'm working at the job. I don't got no money either. I'm trying to fund my career, work at the job. 5 years go by. Then 5+ years go by. Then I'm stuck doing the same thing. And then whatever you want to do in your life, you feel like you just don't have the time to do it. And a lot of people say that because think about it. You might want to do whatever. You might want to do nails, be an artist, actor, whatever your dreams is. I'm not going to knock you for doing your dreams. I'm not going to tell you it's a pipe dream. You can do whatever you want to do. But you just got to start dedicating yourself and start realizing that time is not waiting for nobody. When you keep thinking you got time, that's where you losing. Now, I understand that you want to say you want to have time to do it, but if you're going to use the time, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So if you want to utilize your time right and you want to focus on your quality, that's a different story. But if you just procrastinating, just not doing nothing, when you get off work, you're going to start realizing as time goes on, it's moving by fast. Now let me know how many of y'all used to do that, because ever since I've been working at my job, I was feeling like I wasn't getting nowhere. I ain't gonna lie. But I was only doing what I was told to. So in reality, it's like you've been working all these hours and you want to have some fun with your life, and then you look up, 5 years that went by. But you so impatient to what you want to do. But time is going by so fast because you being programmed and you being part of the program. That's what I believe. I believe all this is programming. Social media, all this is programming. And when you look up, like when my uncle knocked on my door, you ain't even aware what's going on. Because you're not woke. You're not doing your research. So that's why you feel like that, because you've been working at your job so long. I know a lot of us got to work and we maintain it, but a lot of people are becoming upset because they don't know where the time went, just like me. Because I remember back in the day, I was riding go-karts in the street. I don't know, we ain't supposed to do that, but in the hood, you ride go-karts in the street. You know, police pull up on you, tell you parking on the sidewalk. You ride dirt bikes, everything on the street. That's here nor there. Before you look up, once you start realizing that you need to utilize your time better, and just get out your emotions, you will feel better. Because that's the only way you can feel, because in reality, before you look up, it's going to be 6-7 years gone. And then you still in the same spot. And I think that's why we feel like time is going by so fast, because you feel like you're not getting nowhere. That's all. Or you feeling like it's the same cycle over and over, which it is, because you want to feel different. Now, I want to do people that's successful. I want to do they feel like time is passing by so fast, or they just having fun with their life and they not even worried about time. Because in reality, you really can't worry about time. You really can't change time, because that's the fascinating thing about life. So even if you're thinking about negative times or whatever, always remember that you got to prepare, because time is going by faster than you think. And stop waiting to cross that bridge when you get there, and you can never go back. And I know we all wish we had a time machine, like I said earlier. I know y'all gonna call me crazy for that, but we just want to go back to the good times, because it just seems like nothing is good no more. And a lot of people do believe their beliefs, and I understand y'all. At first, I'd be like, why y'all believe in that? But now, I'm starting to be open and find everything fascinating, because it's deep. In reality, we in tough times. So that's all I want to say. That's why I'm believing. Do y'all believe that too? It could be social media programming. You've been at your job for 6-7 years, dealing with the same thing, been dealing with the same situations. Your manager always tripping all the time, it's the same thing. So you feel like you just not getting nowhere. So you start looking at social media, you start comparing yourself to others. And in reality, that's really not good, because it's programming. And I just keep telling people, it's not how you start, it's about how you finish. And I know you can't control time, but we just got to stop procrastinating, and then stop just being scared to do what we want to do. Because in reality, you're going to be stuck because you believe in what they told you. I was like that for a minute. I was tired of believing this. But once you do your research, you're going to start to realize that it ain't what it is. And that's deep. So I want y'all to think about that. And then once you start to learn and start to evaluate yourself, because you can't do nothing but do that. Because if you be stuck like we've been doing, that's all we going to notice. Time is going to go on. Just think about it. Just look at your life. You may have been punching 40 plus hours at the clock. And how many of y'all was saying that I'm only going to do overtime for 40 plus hours for like a year or two just to get me ahead? And then you look up, you've been doing overtime for 2-3 years. So will you ever get ahead? You got to start waking up, because you part of the program. You being programmed. And I don't want to blame everything on the social media and a job. But it is what it is, man. What else do you know? And I'm not saying that it is what it is. So that's just my take on the situation. Because time is just going too fast. And then, like, now the movies that I'm watching now, they're all starting to not make any sense. They don't have no good quality movies out. Because my favorite movie is The Wood. It's not what you think. If you remember that movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. What he said on the intro. But what I'm saying, they don't make movies like The Wood no more. You know? They don't make classics no more. Because times are different. And it's going by fast. And then a lot of people just want to they just want to get clout on social media. And I think an outcome, just for the wrong reasons, because they program, they only getting 2 seconds of fame, then they gone. Something new happening next week. That's how I go. Faster than you think. So we all want to know, where did the time go? Because we just trying to figure it out. And we know something is going on. We all can feel it. We not crazy. We all can feel it. And that's just my take on the situation. Let me know if y'all feel the same way. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one.